Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Theus, and this is going to be a preview for the 2020 to 2021 NBA season, all right? Now, in my hand, I have a list of about 11 bold predictions. Now, they're not all my predictions, all right? But they're just bold predictions in general, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go by one, all right, and really analyze each of them, all right? So the first one, Jason Tatum and the Celtics will run the East. First of all, I just want to say that Jason Tatum, as we all know, is just different. It's funny because I think Celtics fans will always believe that young man is 19 years old. But anyway, all right, he's still a bucket, and we know that. But it's interesting because we'll run the East. Does that mean they're going to make the finals? Okay. Does that mean they're going to finish number one seed in the Eastern Conference? Now, it's going to be tough. You know, I think seeds like 1 through 4 get it very, very, very interesting. You got Milwaukee. You got Boston. You got Philly. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, at the moment, Kemba's hurt. But that doesn't mean that they still can't get the number one seed. But in terms of bold predictions for Jason Tatum, anything I think is possible. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of Jason Tatum and the Celtics will run the East, I kind of like that prediction. All right, so next one up. Let's see. The mid-range jump shot will come storming back. Now, to everyone that's a fan of the midi, shout out to you. You feel me? I personally only like threes, but I'm not against saying that the midi is going to come back. You feel me? When you think about coming off the PNR, not too many guys in the league have a real consistent midi, right? Like, I'm not going to say the names, but feel me, the midi is very, very underrated. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I do think that it'll come back as well. Obviously, Steph and Dame have changed the game in terms of shooting from long distance. But it'll be very, very interesting to see this season how the midi kind of returns back to his natural spot, if you will. All right, so that's the mid-range jump shot will come storming back. All right, and maybe we might have a list of, the top 10 guys with the best midi in the league. You know what I'm saying? The KDs of the world, the Devin Bookers of the world, the CJ McCollums of the world. You know what I'm saying? So moving on, number 3, we got Donovan Mitchell, MVP candidate. And first of all, shout out to Spider for a lot of reasons. One, he's a very good basketball player. As we know, what he did in the playoffs was nasty. Okay, unbelievable. All right, but also shout out to Spider because of that contract he just got. You feel me? But anyway, MVP candidate is tough. Okay? And that's a good tough for the record. If you guys don't know, there's like multiple forms of the word tough. All right? But that's a good tough. But a couple of things I think would have to happen in order for Donovan to get that MVP candidate spot. All right? One, all right, his team would have to finish in the top 3. And that's heavy. That's a bold, you know what I'm saying? Because you still got the Lakers, you still got Denver, you still got the Clippers, right? Who knows what Portland is going to do? Who knows what Houston is going to do? And also, in order for, I think, Spider to win MVP, he would probably have to average at least 30, which, again, I think he's capable of doing. All right? He's young. All right? It's going to be a shortened season. All right? So, again, I'm not opposed to Donovan winning MVP. All right? But the expectations will be high, and I think he would have to accomplish a good amount. And, again, I fully believe he's capable of doing that. All right? So, listen, so far, that might be one of my – I like that bold take. All right? Because it is bold. All right? Obviously, everyone is going to go with, the LeBron, the Giannis, the Lucas of the world. But to say Donovan is an MVP candidate, I'm with that. All right, so moving along. The Hawks will make the playoffs. Big fan of this. Hawks might have one of the best off seasons in the entire league. Right? You still got Trey. You got John. You got Clint. Okay? Listen, you got Chris Dunn. They added Rondo. Listen, especially coming out of the East, I'll even take it the next step further. They might even get the 7th or 6th. And I know this says the Hawks will make the playoffs, but another team I want people to be very, very, very mindful of is the Washington Wizards. They still have one of the best backcourts in the entire league. All right? Anytime you have Russ and Bradley Beal on the same team, anything can happen. But in terms of the Hawks making the playoffs, I'm with that. They definitely upgraded. Like I said, they have one of the best off seasons in the entire league. Anytime you have a guy like Trae Young who's capable of scoring at will, all right? So shout out to Atlanta. Y'all might be making the playoffs this year, so let's go. And it's a youth movement down there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they might make the playoffs this year, but even moving forward, again, you got Trae and John who are both extremely young. So, yeah, I'm with the and, feel me? They jerseys are fire, so. And it's the city of Atlanta, so one time for them. Anyway, the Nets will win 28 straight. This is heavy. I'm going to say this again. The Brooklyn Nets will win 28 straight basketball games. That's tough. That's heavy. And it's not, heavy in that I disagree with it, But 28 straight games is a lot of NBA games to win consecutively, all right? Winning 5 in a row is tough. Winning 10 in a row is tough. But 28, we saw the Heat, kind of, win that many games or win a lot of games back when, they had Bron and Wade and Bosh. But 28 is tough. And again, not saying they can't do it. And that's honestly one of the deepest teams in the league, right? We talk about KD and Kai, of course. But when you look at their roster, they have talent. So they definitely could do it. It'll be tough. It'll be a difficult challenge. But to be very, very honest, I don't even think personally that would be something that they would target. Obviously, when you have a team like that, their number one goal is to win a championship, and to ask them to win 28 straight, that's one heck of a task. But again, I'm not saying it can't happen with 28 straight games straight in a row. And also too, we got to think of when they would do it, right? Do they start the season 28-0? But look, anytime you have KD, okay, and Kyrie on the same team, okay, I like your chances of winning that basketball game. Very, very simple. All right. The next one. LaMelo will make the All-Star game, the first rookie since Blake Griffin in 2011. Now, I want to say this real quick. What Blake Griffin did his rookie year was unbelievable. All right. And I'm going to talk about LaMelo's second year. Because I saw the word Blake Griffin, and it just reminded me. Do y'all remember what Blake Griffin was doing his rookie year? I don't like using the phrase, people forget, da-da-da-da. I kind of hate that. But in all seriousness, the amount of posters that young man had in one season was unbelievable. I'm not going to name the victims. You all know the victims, right? You all know the amount of posters he had. I'm not going to say the amount of guys that he dunked on. Some of them it was back-to-back. But that's another story, okay, for another day. But let's talk about LaMelo. Will he make the All-Star game? That's tough. That's heavy. And again, tough can be good and bad. Now, one thing that I'll say, though, about Charlotte is that because their backcourt is somewhat crowded, you got LaMelo, you got Terry, you got Devontae. Now, I still think LaMelo has a strong chance of winning Rookie of the Year. But also in terms of thinking about the All-Star game, you got to think about it in reverse, right? How many guards are there coming out of the East, right? You have Russell Westbrook, you have Ben Simmons, you have Bradley Beal, you got Kyle Lowry, right? You got Kyrie Irving. But again, listen, I'm with that. I'm a big fan of LaMelo Ball, as I'm sure a lot of people are. Can he make the All-Star game? I think so. That would be crazy, though, to have a rookie, especially like LaMelo, play in the All-Star game. Honestly, that's what the All-Star game needs, right? The All-Star game needs LaMelo Ball playing in it. But that'd be tough, though, to do as a rookie, first year in the league, first one since Blake. Hey. But look, even if he doesn't make the All-Star game, I really believe that LaMelo could play or participate in the skills challenge. So this one is, I guess, bold, but listen to this one. Lakers repeat / LeBron's 5th title same week as Space Jam. So the Lakers winning another championship, LeBron winning his 5th. Seeing how they're the favorites. And the reason why I'm saying is whether or not it's bold. But yeah, right now I think a lot of people have them as their favorites, obviously because of what they did last year in the bubble. 5th title, same week as Space Jam. Hey, that'd be bananas. That would be nuts. You get your 5th ring, right? You get a ring on each finger, and then you top it off with Space Jam right after. That's tough. That's tough. But you know what? Again, I could see that happening. Again, shout out to the purple and gold. You feel me? Royalty. I could see that happening. Again, followed up with the Space Jam. And I think LeBron had one of those crazy years too, where he had MVP, won the chip, and I want to say it was 2012 when he did that, and Olympic gold. So if he does this again, some type of crazy year like that with, getting the ring, then Space Jam, and he might get MVP, and he might get Finals MVP. Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna say should he or should he not retire after he does that. That's not on me. You feel me? But throwing that out there. All right, moving on. Let's see what else we got. Here we go. Valley boys. The Phoenix Suns will finish 3rd in the West. Now. Before people go crazy, okay, I'm gonna say this right now. Let me repeat it first of all. The Phoenix Suns will finish 3rd in the Western Conference. Now, let me say this. Anytime DeAndre Ayton is your 3rd best player, I like your chances. I really do. You bring in a veteran like Chris Paul, we know what he's capable of. And if you really want to get crazy, Chris Paul, not even low key, Chris Paul high key kind of had an MVP season last year. If you really want to talk about it, you feel me? No one really thought OKC was going to do what they ended up doing. Don't miss me with that. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to OKC and what Chris Paul did, elevating that entire franchise. A lot of people had them in the lottery and everything like that, but they made the playoffs and made noise. You feel me? So what he's going to bring, right, to that Phoenix Suns roster, I like that backcourt, as everyone should. You feel me? But you got Chris Paul. You got Devin Booker. You got DeAndre Ayton. Those three right there. You know what I'm saying? You bring in a tough guy like Jay Crowder, which is definitely going to be needed, you know what I'm saying, in that Western Conference when you're facing guys like LeBron, you know what I'm saying, and Kawhi Leonard. You know what I mean? I like it. It's a bold one, I'll say, right? Because, again, you got the Lakers, you got Clippers, you got Denver, so on and so forth. You got Utah. The West is tough, as we all know. But if you got a backcourt, you know what I'm saying, like Chris Paul, that can, diamond off like Chris, score like Devin, okay, and get you consistent double-doubles like DeAndre, you know what I'm saying? Anything is possible. The Phoenix Suns can finish third in the West. Now, the thing is, right, that everyone I know, and their debate against this is probably going to be chemistry. Can Chris Paul and Devin Booker play together? The reason why I don't like those types of comparisons and debates is because at the end of the day, if you have talent, okay, you figure the rest out. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, chemistry, right, we have to talk about it. You can't just sleep on it. But at the end of the day, you don't just randomly get Chris Paul and Devin Booker and guys like that, you know what I'm saying, in a situation like that. So at the end of the day, obviously they both share the same goals in terms of wanting to make the playoffs, wanting to win a championship. But I do like Phoenix, so I will say that. I do like Phoenix. All right? Devin, DeAndre, and Chris, come on. Next one. Avery Bradley will help the Miami Heat remain an Eastern Conference powerhouse. Now, in general, I like Miami. Okay, they lost Jay Crowder, which I think is definitely going to hurt them. He was a dog defensively. They still got Tyler. They still got Bam. They still got Jamie. They still have dogs. But adding Avery Bradley is definitely going to help. I mean, there's very few guys that are going to pick other players up the full length of the court on a consistent basis. You know what I'm saying? Not just because they're motivated or on a contract year, but guys like Avery Bradley, you feel me? Guys like Patrick Beverley, when they pick you up full court, you know what type of time they're on. You know what I'm saying? So saying that Avery Bradley is going to be somewhat of an X factor and kind of help the Miami Heat remain a powerhouse in the Eastern Conference, I like that. You know what I'm saying? And look, it's not going to be hard for Avery Bradley. And the reason why I say that is because it's already a team, all right, that made the finals. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about an 8th seed that's looking to make it to the finals. You know what I'm saying? They made the finals last year despite, you know what I'm saying, what everyone else thought of it. All right? So I like that. Avery Bradley is going to already help. And plus, he fits that culture, right? He fits the idea of working hard. You know what I'm saying? And not everyone really fits that culture. You feel me? But Avery Bradley definitely does. So I like that. I like that as a bold prediction. All right. With Russ. Wizards, the next one, with Russ. And I'm going to say his full name. I'm going to say his full name. I'm going to say the MVP's full name here. All right. I'm going to say the guy that averaged a triple-double in 3 straight seasons. I'm going to say his full name. With Russell Westbrook, Wizards are a legit contender in the East. Now, legit contender is that gets very dicey. That's a very spicy kind of 2 words. Legit contender. What does legit contender mean to you all? Just think about that. Okay? Does that mean they make the finals? Are we saying the Wizards are going to make the finals? Are we saying they make the playoffs? Are we saying they're a top 4 seed in the East, which they very well can be? Like I said, anytime you have 2 guys like Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal on the same team, and please do not sleep on Bertans, please, okay? If you really want to talk about it, top 10 shooters in the league, if you want to have that conversation, okay? But anyway, going back to Russell Westbrook. My guy averaged a triple-double in 3 straight seasons. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, okay? Russell Westbrook slander, as you all know by now, I'm a big fan of Russ, okay? Just later on that man has to stop. It has to. It has to. I'm tired of people saying that because, he gets a little aggressive in games like that. It's called passion, people. Be passionate about what you do. Please. Please. Okay? Bradley Beal, we know what he brings to the table. He's like that. I want those 2 individuals in the All-Star game this year. I'm going to say that again. I want those 2 individuals in the All-Star game this year. Please make that happen. Please. Okay? Now, again, going back to the legit contender thing, because I don't want to just make this about Russ, right? I don't want to make this just about Bradley Beal. Can the Wizards be a top 4 team in the East? Ooh. 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 You got Milwaukee. You feel me? You got Toronto. You got Philly. You got Boston. Some people like Indiana. You got Miami. Ooh. But, again, this isn't me saying that they can or cannot. It's just something to think about. When we look, whenever we say that a team is going to do something, we have to look at the other side, right? So I can either say the Wizards are nice, right? But in order for me to say they're going to be a top 4 team in the East, I have no choice but to look at the other teams. You feel me? All right. So this last one is a little rough, and I hate to end it this way, but so Karl Anthony Towns is going to have a monster season. We all kind of know what Cat has been through during the offseason. So regardless of what he does on the basketball court, as we all know, man, we're rooting for him off the court as well, more than anything. So I just want to say shout out to Cat on that one. But I have strong belief that Cat can lead the Minnesota Timberwolves. It'll be interesting to see if they can make the playoffs, whether they sneak in at that 8th, 7th, or even 6th seed. They added Rubio. Obviously, they have D'Lo. They have Anthony Edwards. In terms of this prediction towards Cat specifically, is going to have a monster season. Look, everyone loves Cat, for fantasy, right? He usually ends up being like a top 5 pick, the points, rebounds, blocks, things like that. And he can kind of do it all, especially when you add the 3-point game for him. But I agree with that, right? And now if you really want to get spicy, right? What do we think his actual stats are going to be for Cat? Right? 20-10, easy. 24-10, okay, we're getting somewhere. 30-13. Will we see a 30-13 season from Cat? Hey, if you got him on your fantasy team, I know you hope that's gonna happen. You feel me? But if not, look, 30 is tough to do. You know what I'm saying? Even though we're in an era where guys are scoring with ease now and everything like that, 30-13 is tough. Now, look, I came up with a random number like 30-13. I'm not saying that this bold prediction is saying that he's going to get it. Feel me? But if we're saying he's going to have a monster season, let's throw numbers out there. Let's throw numbers out. Because now we have to define what a monster season is. It's almost like the previous prediction, right? The Wizards are going to be a legit contender. Let's throw numbers. I don't want to say this guy is going to be good. I don't want to say a team's going to be good. Let's throw numbers. Get dicey. Get spicy with the predictions. Okay? So there you have it. Those are the bold predictions that we just analyzed. And before we go, all right, I'm going to take it one by one again. Just review it from the top. From the top. Here we go. Jason Tatum and the Celtics will run the East. Jason Tatum is a bad man, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about it. I know someone's going to like this. Jason Tatum is just different. All right? We know that. We know that. Okay? We know what he brings to the table. And Boston has a very deep team. Okay, again, shout out to Kemba. The mid-range jump shot will come storming back. Now, not a lot of people are fans of the midi. And that hurts my soul. But I get it. But will it come back consistently? That's the conversation that we need to have. Okay? Now, again, it all depends on the player. It all depends on the coach. You feel me now? Okay? Because some coaches, come on, man. Come on with that midi stuff, man. Some coaches don't support the mid-range. We want threes, layups, and free throws. Threes, layups, and free throws. That's what some people believe. But at the end of the day, a bucket is a bucket. Let's talk about it. Is 3 more than 2? Duh. We've all been to school. We know that. You feel me? But I'd rather have the guaranteed bucket. And shout out to DeMar DeRozan. Make that very, very clear. Shout out to DeMar DeRozan. I am sorry for not even mentioning his name earlier when we talk about mid-range. I apologize. DeMar DeRozan. You know what? DeMar DeRozan's name will be the conclusion to this part of the bold predictions. Moving along, though. Donovan Mitchell, MVP candidate. Listen, I'm going to tell you something right now. Playoff Donovan Mitchell, oh my God. Now, because he's in Utah, and it's going to hurt some people's hearts, but I just have to say it. Because he's in Utah, he doesn't get the love that he deserves. Everyone loves Jason Tatum, right? You can't hate Jason Tatum. But the fact that, he plays in Boston helps, right? In terms of people recognizing things like that. But what Donovan Mitchell does in Utah, y'all, I'm sorry. Like, it's unbelievable. All right, so moving along, the Hawks will make the playoffs. Now, again, they're in the Eastern Conference, right? I mean, they had one of the best off seasons in the entire league. They still have Trey. They still have John. They have Clint, right? They added Chris Dunn. They added Rondo, veteran leadership right there, who I think is going to help Trey out tremendously. He's fresh off winning the chip. You know what I'm saying? So I like this. I really, really do. Now, again, going back to the numbers in terms of I want specifics. I mean, but you know what? Let me stop. Hawks making the playoffs, that's good enough, especially considering the fact they didn't make it last year. So I think that'll definitely be a good jump for them in saying that they make the playoffs. But yeah, I'm with that. You know, they're young. I think they're hungry. Shout out to Cam Reddish as well. So I like that. And like I said, fire jerseys. The Nets will win 28 straight games. It's a lot of pressure on them, you know what I'm saying? But again, looking forward to seeing how KD comes back. Looking forward to seeing how KD and Kyrie play well together. But also with this team, they have a lot of depth. So it's doable, right? I think there's very few teams in the league that could probably pull this off. And in saying that, Brooklyn is definitely one of them. LaMelo will make the All-Star game, the first rookie since Blake Griffin in 2011. Like I said, y'all, when you really, really just think about what Blake Griffin was doing. Stats aside, I don't care about stats right now. Stats aside. And it sucks because this prediction is supposed to be about LaMelo, right? It's supposed to be about his rookie year. But Blake was just wilding. Anyway, I want to see LaMelo in the All-Star game. I don't care what his stats are. Okay, I don't give a damn if he averages 12 and 6. I want him in the All-Star game for obvious reasons, right? I mean, the passes, the flashing, all that, okay? Shout out to Charlotte. You feel me? Next up, Lakers repeat LeBron's 5th title. Same week as Space Jam. Like I said before, it would be very fire if he can pull this off. He had one of those summers, I believe, where he won MVP, Finals MVP, and the Olympic gold. So I'm saying if that happens, hey, everything's a go. You feel me? Next up, the Phoenix Suns will finish 3rd in the West. You know why I like this bold prediction? Okay, because there's a number to it. You feel me? The Phoenix Suns will finish 3rd in the Western Conference. It's going to be tough, right? But I mean, when you put a number behind your prediction, it makes it a little bit more spicy, if you get what I'm saying, right? I can easily say, the Phoenix Suns, they're going to do better this year. The Phoenix Suns, they're going to improve. Where are they finishing? You feel me? So, saying that the Phoenix Suns will finish 3rd in the West, anytime you add a Hall of Fame point guard, right, and you have one of the best isolation players in the league, anything can happen. Anyway, moving along, Avery Bradley will help the Miami Heat remain an Eastern Conference powerhouse. And I like this because it's saying remain. I mean, which means, the Miami Heat, obviously, they just made it to the finals last year. But adding another dog to that team, like Avery Bradley, who picks up, the entire length of the floor, right? Miami could make it to the finals again, okay? It's crazy. Miami might be like one of very few teams in league history who made the finals the year prior, and people are still sleeping on them. I don't get it. With Russ, Wizards are a legit contender in the East. Listen, y'all. Okay, now I'm just reading out bold predictions, you feel me? But from now on, if you ever arguing with your homies, you know what I'm saying? Don't just throw out predictions. Don't do that. Okay? Throw some numbers behind them. Okay? Unless it is an award, okay, like most improved or MVP. All right, feel me? Throw some numbers behind it. I know we don't want to be stats guys. I know we don't want to look at graphs, right, during debates, but throw some numbers. With Russ, Wizards are a legit contender in the East. Where will the Wizards finish? Are going to finish 4th? 2nd? 1? Say it. Say it. Don't play it safe. Legit contender in the East. You can say that with any team. Let's say the number, please. Anyway, Karl Anthony Towns is going to have a monster season. Same thing. Same thing. I want numbers. I want to hear 30-13. I really do. I want to hear a crazy number that I may be like, oh, that's wild, but I respect it. You feel me? I want numbers. But anyway, so those are the bold predictions for the 2020 to 2021 NBA season. All right, I'm looking forward to a great season. All right, last one in the bubble, of course. But now it's going to be a new one. You feel me? We got KD back. Listen, there's so many storylines. Oh my God. I'm looking forward to see who's going to win the chip. Who's going to win MVP. Because you all know this regular season stuff is cool. But let's talk playoffs. You know what? We going to wait. We just have to let the season play out. With that being said, again, these are the bold predictions that I just read. All right? And I hope y'all enjoy the season. With that being said, we out. Peace.